thing was, again, is that realistic? Can you do that through having a job aside? Can you learn how to do this yourself, like in what, in a timeline of like 3 months? Or do you really have to lock in for like a year to be able to turn like $500 into 100K, 20K, things like that?
I mean, bro, obviously, the longer you do crypto, the higher chance you are gonna have to like make it, right? Because you just have more time in the market. You need to be improving as well, but naturally that's gonna come as you get more experience. Um, $100 to $300,000 on Trump was literally impossible. You just couldn't have done that no matter what entry you had. So that was just fake, right? But that's besides the point. There have been multiple opportunities, a lot of opportunities where you could flip $100 into $300,000, but it's unlikely.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna be honest, I've never done that, but it doesn't matter because you don't need to hit those crazy plays because at that point you're just gambling, right? I mean, maybe not
yeah.
you couldn't have conviction in those types of plays, but it's just very, very unlikely. It's better to stack up consistent wins. That's what good traders do for the most part. Um, anyways, yeah, I mean, personally, bro, didn't really work while doing crypto. What I did was I had a job at first and then I quit like I went to college, right? And then like 6 months into college, I got into crypto. So that's how it was for me. Like
How
I
much?
used the money I saved up like three I don't know, like a few $1,000s. Yeah, it was minimum
Yeah,
wage
right.
job.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you and say, uh, yeah, it'd be much easier to learn. Or if you had something on the side, you'll be progressing at the same rate. But honestly, I started when I was literally in college. I was balancing homework, uh, trying to maintain a good GPA. Same thing with Shams and James too, I believe. And when you're trying to balance all that, like it does get in the way. You won't be able to trade crypto, as much if, let's say, you're in a lecture and you have to present something, teacher calls on you, or you have to get some homework done. You can't trade while you're writing an essay at the same time. But even through that, I believe for me, um, it took me, I think, like 2 months, a month and a half to become profitable while I was uh, in college, and I started with about $1,000 myself. No, 1,300. So for me, I burnt the first $500 I put in. I burnt the second $500. No, yeah, burnt the second $300 I put in, and then I made it with the $500 I put in for the third attempt. But um, I progressed at a much slower rate when I was in school than I did during a period like summer break. And I can say right now, yeah, it did get in the way, but I was still able to get enough experience eventually to the point where, okay, this was something I could balance out and still make decent money from. And then that eventually transitioned into me when I met James for my second year at college. I honestly just dropped everything at school and just went all in on crypto. And I was able to do that because I had the experience from before, and be able to identify these coins, know how to trade, and now I'm here. So
Yeah.
honestly, yapped for a little
Oh,
bit right there, but just end of line. It will hinder you in some way. Obviously, if you're trying to balance something where you have to pretty much attend to your screen 24/7 with something that you also need to pay attention for, but as long as you stay consistent, no matter what you do, it will play out.
Yeah, honestly.
trying to figure out how to share my screen. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen in a second.
Yeah, and then
Show
someone
off
said,
the price.
"What's a lesson that something I learned when first starting out that stuck with me until now that shifted my perspective on how I traded?" I'm gonna be honest with you. There was something that shifted my perception for good, honestly, for very good. And I had to learn this the very, very hard way. Think back to 2022. There was NFT bull run. I was making probably 200K every single day profit. 200K profit every single day for 2-3 months straight. I made my port go from zero, literally zero, to 8 figures. And then what happened? I was on a winning streak. I thought I was on top of the world. And then I lost 90% of it all. I pretty much full ported an NFT called Other Side NFT. I was up $5 million unrealized. I didn't take any profit at all. And I ended up round tripping all my gains pretty much from that entire market. Didn't round trip everything, but entirely round trip 90% of it. And that's a lesson that was so hardly earned. I was 14 years old with 8 figures to my name. I lost 90% of it. And until the recent cycle, I didn't make that back. It took 3 years, 4 years for me to recoup those losses. And I tell everyone every single time someone makes a crazy trade, cash it out, bro. Or like take profits. Or genuinely just never throw those profits back into the market. Because sometimes you're going to be on top of the world. Sometimes you're going to be making a lot of money. And you never know when, oh, market's going to change. Or like, oh, like maybe your head is getting the best of you. And like, I had to learn it the hard way. So every single time I trade now, I trade of 100 SOL, 75 SOL when I'm doing new pairs. Every single day after I finish trading, this wallet's probably at like 150 SOL, 160 SOL, 120 SOL. I take that extra profit, put it into a wallet, cash it out into USDC, and that's my profit for the day. And I just trade that way now. I don't trade like, oh, I'm holding stuff anymore because that loss just traumatized me and it stuck with me for years.
I'm gonna share my screen now, and I'll show you guys, sneak peek into the collective. Give me a second. Let me know when y'all can see. You see?
It's loading. Yeah, it's like perma loading on my end.
Try again. You see now? No. Yo, Alex.
Nah, it's still the same thing.
I can't
Still
see that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try sharing my entire screen instead of the window. Can you guys see now? Or no?
No, it's still the same issue.
Let me.
Yeah, I can screen share if really needed, honestly.
Let me try. I joined from the Discord app. Give me a second. Can you guys see now or no?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, we can see.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna just show you guys like sort of the process for when we call coins, because I think like, you always see James and Alex's stories like, oh, we hit this coin, like, it's. I want to show you that these are actual calls, right? It's not just like we scan them and say that, randomly they pump and we say we called it, right? No, I actually give like a full thesis and stuff. So this was SBET. I called it 160K, and it was very easy to get entry around like 100K, right? So obviously, very low entry, and this is on ETH as well, ETH chain, right? So I said it was a gamble. I called in trench chat, and the reason I bought it was because this SBET stock was mooning, right? Pretty much, they were trying to be the MicroStrategy of ETH. Which if you don't know what MicroStrategy is, you've probably heard of Michael Saylor, and he is like this dude his company MicroStrategy has been accumulating Bitcoin for like the last 4 years or so. And obviously the stock has performed really well. And anyways, so that was the thesis for this, because it's the same thing as MicroStrategy, but also for ETH. And then yeah, so you see Sharplink Gaming literally a few minutes later at 600K, and then I'll just keep scrolling down. I mean, it went to. I'll show you. It went to 14 mil. So that's 140x.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
I mean,
100.
it took some time. It took some time, but it's 140x. So, I mean, there are plenty of other calls like this. I mean, I'll show you guys my first
Kita.
call. Huh? Kita? I'll show Kita after useless.
Crazy write up for that one.
Yeah. So, useless. I called this originally at like around 10 mil, right? So I actually got this, I think, sub 10 mil entry. I don't remember. It was like 3 months ago. But anyways, so 10 mil, right? And then in the inner circle, I was telling people, like, they were asking me, like, it went to 40 mil after this, by the way. So I'm gonna mute them real quick. All right. Yeah, so useless went from 10 mil to 40 mil. So that was a 4x, right? And then I still had conviction personally because I knew this was launched on the Bonk Launchpad, right? So obviously the Bonk team is not creating a launchpad to have 40 mil toppers because it's a bad look for their coin. Their coin's gonna dump if they can't support, if they can't actually have a successful ecosystem. So I would put this as a bet on Bonk, right? And I knew that the Bonk team was gonna push it. So useless went all the way down to 5 mil. And people in the inner circle, they were asking me, like, are you holding? Are you buying? Because it went all the way from 40 mil to 5 mil. People were calling it a scam. People were calling, the main KOL who was pushing it a scammer. So a lot of stuff was going on, right? But I said personally I was holding, right? I honestly didn't really add that much at the bottom, unfortunately, but regardless, I held. And now let's look at what useless coin is at 2 months later. Literally just made a new all-time high, 276 million. So 276 divided by 5 is what? Like, I don't know, honestly, but it's a big number, right? Like close to a 30x or more than a 30x actually, more than a 50x, like a 55x. So yeah, I mean, this was another one. I'll show you. You guys remember Ko was in the AMA earlier? Kita. He called Kita at 14 million market cap. 14 million. And he gave a whole thesis, right? This is what he learned from working with us in the inner circle. Right? I mean, he said former Google CEO has a coin on base. He bought at 10 mil. And then if you held for literally 4 months, I'll show you.
It went to 1.68 bill, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it's 1.7. 1.7. That's you guys don't understand how much money that, like
170x.
170x on you could have made quite literally 10 mil off this. $10 million, bro. Like, and okay, that's if you have size. You could have turned you could have turned $1,000 into $170,000. You could have turned $100 into $17,000. Like, you don't see these types of plays anywhere else. And not only that, it's still down 80% from all-time high, or like 70% from all-time high. And Fortune is still up 45x, more than 45x, like 65x, and called it like 10 mil, right? So that's like just another one of our good calls recently.
Yeah, look, we don't just really play trades. A lot of people, they think meme coins is quite honestly just gambling. And every single time we call stuff in Fortune, we always give it a thesis. We always tell us why we think it's a good call, why it's a good trade. And we give these in-depth write-ups. I mean, meme coins, it's all about strategy. It's not just like, oh, guys, like, I'm going to buy this coin. It's so funny. Like, there's actually strategy in it. And a lot of people have that misconception that, like, oh, like, meme coins, like, it's really just gambling. It's just like stake. No, genuinely, we have strategy. It's a attention-based market. And if you know how to follow the attention and actually know how to capitalize off it, you're going to make a lot of money, guys.
And you'll see that we actually don't call like very often. We have very calculated calls, like James was saying. We focus on quality over quantity. Another coin I called was Tibber. Okay, this is the recent scan, but yeah. So I initially called it at 30 mil, right? This is pretty high, but I said I was waiting for entry. And the reason I bought was because Keto was going up a lot, the coin we were just talking about, and Robinhood seed investors launched Tibber, right? So this was obvious. Robinhood's huge, and this is another coin on base. So if Keta's doing well, which is also on base, capital is going to flow down, and that's how Tibber pumps. So, anyways, pretty much we average this down all the way down to 1.2 cents, right? So right now it's 0.3. It was at 0.35 when I initially called it, and then it went all the way to 0.12. And then, I mean, literally, again, if you could hold and you kept the thesis and conviction, 140 mil. That's another like 12x, infinite size, literally infinite size. This has more than $2.6 million in liquidity. Like, these are the types of plays we're calling. I don't know, like, not to bash on any other influencers in the space, but other groups, I know a lot of times they just call, like, I don't know, like hot dog coin or something like that, right? Or like kitten coin or whatever. We're buying things with actual narrative here. We're not buying coins that we're just dumping on you for exit liquidity. We joke around about that a lot, but like in all seriousness, we are buying quality narratives that you can actually build conviction around. And if you learn why we buy these, you can find the next one. And again, that's our goal. Another coin, I feel like there's so many recently. Candle was huge, right? Candle, literally 4.9 million market cap. 4.9 million. And I said I bought the FUD because the reason for this was I knew that fundamentally this was a good coin. It got heavily sniped at launch and people thought the team was dumping, but it wasn't a team because it's Jupiter, right? Like Jupiter is one of the biggest protocols on Solana and just in crypto, right? So I knew that they were not going to let this coin go to zero because this is the protocol coin for their new platform. And I mean, the rest is history. 4.9 mil to literally 48 mil. 10x on infinite size. Again, like, and obviously it probably seems pretty easy, right? You're just seeing this like, oh, all I have to do is buy and hold. But I'll be honest, in the Trench channel, we have a lot of losses, but it doesn't matter because the wins outweigh the losses every single time. Like, for like, if you
like every single call combined, every single call that we ever called in history, our win rate's like 77%.
yeah,
Like 77%.
just
Like,
round it up to 80. Yeah, like we're 80% hit rate. And honestly, bro, let's show some losses. I don't mind showing some losses. Let's see. Do you have any big losses off the top? I mean, Mumu, honestly, bro. Nah, I'm not. Mumu's kind of hard to say, but like, let me see. I mean, bro, every single thing here is a win
Yeah,
in the last
every
like
single one.
2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Literally everything's a win. Icon was a win. PPP was a win. AP was a win. Okay, deploy on click. This was a loss. It's a small loss though, right? It was only 900K market cap. I don't know where I initially called it actually.
called it like around
Around like 700K. I called it around 700K market cap, and now it's at like
Bro,
267.
KeyCat was a loss, bro. KeyCat was like a 10x on size, and we
Bro.
front ran Coinbase listing, bro.
Bro, they are rage baiting me right now, bro. They said KeyCat was a loss. Do you know how much money I made off KeyCat, bro? All right, man. Like me, James, Ko. I think no, Ko was putting it. Alex faded. And even people on Fortune, base I printed like 150K off KeyCat, bro. Like, I know you're joking, but I'm just saying, like, that was one of our best calls of all time. Let's see
guys.
what other losses. There are really like no losses. Okay, this I guess you could say Faircaster was a loss. I called it. Okay, Rick is kind of bugging because now auto refreshes scans, but you can see I called it at like 4.8 million here. It went to like 6.8 mil, and then now it went back down. So like a 50%, which is honestly pretty good. Because 50%, it sounds bad, but if you actually think about it, you could put in $1,000 and come out with you still make money, right? Like it's not like you lost money, but like still, and it could still go higher, but like so far it's like not the best call, right? What else? Monkey Phone was a 10x. No, like a 15x. 15x.
Yeah, we called it at 700.
Buckcoin was a win, bro. Honestly, bro, we don't have many losses at all. Gorbakana was, I mean, it's still cooking, but it was a win for sure. I think no, actually, it wasn't. And Clanker was a win still in that. And then Vibecat, that was a win too. It was 2 mil to 12 mil. Alex, this was a win. He got a Stacy, a little baby. I mean, bro, we really don't. And this looks very sus. Okay, this was a loss. This is a loss. But we ended up making back the losses on hyped because. So this was similar narrative to SBET, right? SBET, we called it. I mean, you guys know the narrative of SBET. There was some company with a publicly tradable stock that was accumulating ETH. The same thing happened with Inovia. I called the stock here too, by the way. That was a 5x on really good size, but that's besides the point. They used the wrong ticker for this coin. They were rebranding to hyped. So, yeah. Anyways, we lost money on that. It was like, yeah, I called it 127K. It went to 8K, but I said I cut this one at like 50K. I only lost like 50% on this one. And then this one was like it went to like 500K and we called it like 80K or like 120K, I guess, so like 4x. These plays look mostly like ETH. Now, I'd say recently more ETH, but we're on, bro. We go where the money is, bro.
The point I
Honestly,
wanted to make is like I understand that most people like want to trade on Sol. Most people like Sol as like the most like meme coiny thing. But like, look, you're not getting the full experience of even trading on chain or full experience of trading meme coins at all if you're not trading on all of these chains. If you're not trading on ETH, Base, BNB, we there was a whole week of fucking mania on BNB and Tron. And we were cooking on BNB and Tron for a whole week. So all of these are just crazy, crazy cooks on so many different chains. And I'm just saying, like, you're not getting the full experience. You're not getting the most out of meme coins if you're not trading on ETH, Base, BNB, Hyperliquid, Tron, and more. So, and we are a group that I think we're the only group, one of the only groups that actually take advantage of like trading across all of these chains. Most of these,
honestly, dude, when is our last like big loss, bro? This is actually crazy, bro. This is the most insane shit I've ever seen. I've never seen a hit rate like this before. I guess I'm self-glazing right now, but like, bro, I've actually like this is insane.
I think the 77% counts break evens. So like it was anything that didn't 2x. So like that
Yeah,
was
so even if like it was a 70%,
like
we counted that
even
as a loss in our win rate. Like
game.
it's pretty crazy, bro. What's the problem if the coin is on ETH? There's no problem. No problem at all. I'll make money on any chain, bro. I don't care. Yeah, like, dude, honestly. Okay, Anal OS, this was a loss, but like, you have to realize most of our losses are low cap coins. Like, you can't really lose much on an 84K market cap coin. Or like, I called it at 25K. Like, you can't lose much on that. Yeah, like, even Mini was a cook. USA was a cook. Lock-in was a cook.
USA was a giga cook, bro. That was like a 30x.
No, but I mean, like,
like,
when I recently called it, when I recently called it was still like a 2x. Like, bro. And this isn't even looking at mid conviction or high conviction. I'm not gonna leak those, bro. I'm not gonna leak mid conviction or high conviction.
High conviction, I'm pretty sure it's like 100%. I'm not even gonna lie. But
Yeah. Charles was a literally
35x. It was 35x.
35x, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a 30.
Nah, bro. It was like a 60x. We called it at 300K and it went to like 20 mil.
Oh,
It's like a 60x.
it was like a 60.
Yeah. It went, bro. Charles went really, really high. Like, bro, where is the last loss, bro? Like, there's like not much, bro.
Yeah, we
Crazy, dude.
I don't even know how our win rate is that low. I thought our
Like, hold on. Let me show you guys something real quick. Like, let's see my last calls in the last 6 months. 160x, 89x, 65x, 61x, 38x, 36, 26, 20, 18, 15. Like this is insane, bro. And I could do the same for Alex. I could do the same for James. Yeah, and these are like just the trench calls, right? A 5x in mid conviction, you can make more than you would make in a 100x call on trench, right? Because you put in more money. I think I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now, but
I think we
like,
leaked too much, bro. We leaked too much sauce.
Like too much.
Like there's even more in the inner circle, and like that's what I'm saying, guys. If you guys are truly interested, apply. But if you guys genuinely do not want to put in the time, you guys don't want to like put in the dedication, you're not serious on like making meme coins, like your number one thing, or not even number one thing, but just devoting some time into it. If you're not serious into it, don't even apply, bro. Don't apply. But on July 5th, I'm gonna drop the application, and we're gonna be accepting around 25 members. So make sure your application stands out. You're gonna have an opportunity to speak with our team and whatnot. But yeah, that's that. If anyone has any more questions, we're gonna start bringing more people on. But I hope that clarified some things, guys. Like genuinely, like 77% win rate, and like most of them are just break even trades. So I don't know. I'm gonna take some more people on. Oh, and for Betalin, if you want to speak I know.
Yo, hello.
Yo,
Yo,
what's
what's
up?
going on?
What's up? Yeah, so I just had two questions, maybe a third if I remember correctly. So I came in here yesterday, right? And this is like my officially like first time trading and all that stuff when it comes to the meme coins. And I watched literally all of Alex's videos just like to get a start off of it. Um Went on Instagram, watched a couple of reels, shit like that. And I feel like I got a pretty good understanding of it yesterday because I journaled, right? And I told myself because yesterday I bought I think 3 coins, but I realized my problem was that I feel like I wasn't being aggressive enough with how much I was buying. Granted, I only put in like $100, so I'm not trying to like put anything big into anything yet. I'm just testing the ropes out to see what works for me, what doesn't work for me, shit like that. And today I wanted to be more aggressive with the coins to see how exactly that would work and all. So I ended up buying, I think, about 10 extra coins today at point like 0.01 soul, something around there. And two of them we've been talking about in the voice calls below, the Bow Bow and the useless one, um, commodity. Uh, I think there was a couple other ones, but there was one that I saw that they weren't talking about called One Big Beautiful Coin, and I knew that that was getting traction because of the One Big Beautiful Bill, and I went into it and I put in, a couple of coins because I saw that there was a lot of holders going into it. I went from like maybe 600 to 900 holders, uh, within like a good few minutes. And I was watching the chart. It was at a good like 60K going up to 90K, shit like that. And I looked at the Twitter. It had a lot of members in it. I looked at the Twitter members' followers, and it was followed by a guy who was followed by a lot of other people who were pretty, in the space pretty goodly. And all of a sudden, the coin dropped. It's at 8K now. Now I'm curious to know, like, what have you guys have those experience where like you'll look at a coin and you'll see that it's got all the necessary good signs behind it, a good Twitter following, a pretty like relevant meme or a trend in that specific area, but then it just falls off the edge of the map for no fucking reason. Like have you guys ever had that happen before? And if so, like what why would that happen? For instance, is it just because like the trend itself isn't like funny enough, or it's just not something that hits? What are you guys' thoughts?
I think before all that, I honestly think you're going into all this with a completely wrong mentality. At the very start, you mentioned, okay, I'm gonna try to buy 10 plus more coins today. I think doing that just puts you in a bad mentality of trying to force trades every time. Especially, I think we mentioned before, new pairs aren't really too hot right now. So if you're trying to go in with that mentality, and that's something I see a lot of people do as well, where people will just get impatient and bid uh, coins with not really any narrative. They bid the 38th culture coin, which is literally just a community ran by people with no motion whatsoever, and it's just people trying to force trades over and over. And number two, for me, I don't really look at stuff like, okay, how much is the holder count increasing or any stats like that. For me personally, I just look at narratives. And number three, yeah, I mean, your question at the end, that's honestly just a part of the trenches, um, misjudging narratives, thinking it should be valued much higher than it really is. And sometimes that is, the case. But you also have to take in certain things like market conditions. Is there another narrative, a leading narrative right now that's going to overpower it? Um, and the only thing you can really do from there is just take in that information, see what you did wrong, try to analyze, okay, maybe this isn't really something that TL is liking right now. So that's something you can move on to another trade with.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair. I understand that. I agree. I think that I definitely did invest in a little bit more coins than I should have.
I think I did get caught up looking at some of the wallet trades. Especially that one guy named Cupsy. I got too caught up in that one. Um, just for a little bit though. But if that's definitely a problem that you say is something that new traders happen to fall into a lot whenever they first start off, um, yeah, I can definitely look for a fix for that. Um, I think what was the other yeah, that's right. The inner circle that you guys keep talking about. So I joined a couple of days ago. I bought in for like the first like 2 weeks, I think. Um, was that the inner circle itself, or was that just getting into the space of the Discord and being able to look at like the calls channel and joining VCs and talking and shit like that?
Yeah, that's just a part of the Discord. The inner circle is more
Okay.
gonna be for personal help.
Okay. All right. Um, yeah, that's all the questions I had. But thank you, man, for being honest.
Of
Appreciate it.
course, dude. Glad talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Well, I mean, some of my questions have already been answered. Like one to start off. So, the channels you showed, for example, the high conviction or mid conviction or trenches, is that part of the normal of inner circle or just the regular Discord?
It's part of the regular Discord, but as
Oh,
part
all
of the
right.
inner circle, I
Mhm.
mean, you'll have permanent
In the inner
access.
circle, we do get some exclusive calls. Like,
Mhm.
I recently called something an inner circle for like a 4x on really good side. I mean, still cooking, but no one in the
Mhm.
collective got that call. We only
Oh,
gave it
okay.
to the inner circle.
All right. And well, to be honest, I've been trying to trade for a few, like 2 months now, but I've hit some calls, but most of them have been losses, and I've been feeling very unmotivated. And I have like a question, like, what is a beginner strategy when you are low on capital? Because I'm not from the United States and I don't have an ability to get a lot of cash, at least right now. So, like, what would you recommend? Because, for example, you guys were talking down on strategies like paper trading. So, like, I would like to ask, like, what would you recommend doing other than that?
I mean, honestly, what else can you really do besides just take in uh, whatever lessons you can from your losses and just move forward? I mean, for me personally, um, I'm sure I've told a lot of people this story of, how I ran it up to 5K my first couple months trading. I shot that down to $500. And then literally 2 weeks after, when summer break started, I turned that into $104,000 in literally a week and a half. And then I got greedy. I over leveraged myself. During the summer, I shot that back down to 20K in literally 2 months. And all I could really do from that point was just take in whatever lessons I had. Okay. I have to work on my risk management. I should look at previous trades and journal more and just move forward. That's all you can really do in this space. And I'm not gonna lie
Mhm.
to you and
All right.
say, okay, there's like a secret way or like a secret method you can say you can implement whenever you're low on capital for like a guaranteed safety net. No, dude, you have to just take whatever lessons you had and then move forward.
All right. Thank you. And I guess one more question is, what are the like most important factors which decide how convicted you are on a play? Like, is it a narrative or something?
Yeah, I just look at
Always
narrative.
going to be the narrative. Yeah, because I mean, like, you can't really put blanket statements on anything in crypto, but yeah, it's going to be the narrative usually.
All right. All right. Well, thank you. Those were my questions.
I think we should get one more question here and I think we can just end it off.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, what's
we
up?
can hear you.
Yeah, already. So I guess my question is about y'all saw AP recently and how that did.
Yeah, American part. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually also had like a similar conviction because of something I heard in a potion chat. And I put it. So like I hit for it. I what is it? A 7x on decent size. I only had like 4 grand to play with, so I full ported in there. I'm up a decent amount, but it's retracing pretty hard. I'm not really sure as to like.
You should just sell some, bro. Like take out your initials if you're full
I
port.
don't know, man, because like I'm also of the opinion that if the big bill passes or whatever, like instantly that teleports, right? And I don't know if I'll be awake when that happens. They're trying to
All right,
rush it or
then.
whatever.
I mean, you can hold, bro. If it goes to 0, you lost all your money. It's fine by me.
That part.
I'm kidding, but like actually, though, like you gotta manage your risk, bro. You
Zeal, I
can't
think a
just-
good
can't be
I think a
full
good
port.
like thing to keep in mind is
Yeah.
for holding coins. If you would you buy at the
It was also
point that
by
the
the way.
coin is at right now?
Yeah, the Senate passed it, but it has to go back to the House to then because I've been tracking this. I have
It's just
Politico
like-
open right now.
Then you're waiting
Bro,
for.
you can.
I don't even know.
Oh,
what
can you tell me what percentage you're up right now?
190 something after the
Bro, just
retrace.
take out, dude. Literally, just take out $4,000, bro. Like, there's no reason to be full ported in anything. Like you should not be full ported in anything at all. You're gambling. Like, you're
Yeah.
actually just gambling.
Yeah. I mean, but
Some
like
people
this
lose
was like the
everything.
first time I was actually
It
like
doesn't matter.
completely
It doesn't
hyped
matter,
about
bro.
it.
Like I'm cutting you off here because I'm trying to help you, bro. Cannot be put
Yeah.
full porting anything. Like like genuinely, James and Alex are gonna say the same exact thing. You just want to hear us say the opposite because you have bag bias. Like honestly, bro. Just
Yeah,
sell
I
some,
do.
bro. Should not be full ported, bro.
Yeah.
And if anyone tells you to hold, you're full porting that. Either they're retarded or they're trying to set you up for failure.
Yeah, I'm on Axiom right now. I just went ahead and clipped it. I'll listen.
Yeah.
But
That's good, bro.
I was also gonna ask for the current membership. I paid with crypto, but I'd like to hook up my card. I don't know how to go about doing that, or I know this isn't freaking customer support, but I'd like to change that over.
I think James can answer that question.
Just make a support ticket just because like we can renew it for you. It's just like we're not accepting anyone else, so we're not putting our links out anywhere.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'll go ahead and make a link or
Make a
set a support ticket.
Yeah, we'll get a support ticket to you and we'll get it done for you, bro.
All right, bet.
Awesome.
And then, do y'all have anything like in terms of like looking at like so narratives like that? So like political narratives are a pretty big thing, but like how do y'all see like narratives like you were talking about like some Pasternak stuff that you were looking at? I couldn't really see the vision when it came to that, so I kind of faded it. I mean, it hasn't moved yet, but I was just wondering like if there was anything we could go into detail on that thesis.
On what?
It was the call in the mid conviction group.
What,
Let me see.
what call was it?
Was it belief?
I believe it's hot conviction.
Yeah.
I bet it might have been actually in Trench.
Was it RIP VC?
Yeah, RIP VC.
I mean, bro, I don't. Some stuff takes a while to play out, bro. It depends on.
I'm not worried about when it's playing
Yeah.
out or anything. I meant like the thesis behind it. I'm trying to learn.
Oh
you're
yeah.
thinking,
My
bro.
bad. Yeah. I think I sort of explained it there. Maybe I didn't because I was on a plane last night. Yeah. No. Yeah. I said the startup is like just. I'll just take a screenshot and post it. I'll DM it after the hospital. I'll just read it out loud. So pretty much like startup is mooning right now, right? And it's like a meme launched on Believe. And the PA right now really reminds me of Useless, right? Since the 5 mil bottom, like everyone's coping, everyone's sideline. So then if it goes 50, so like if startup goes like 100 mil, I think RIP VC can go like 5 to 10 mil because it's a meme literally launched by the Believe app team, like by Pasternak. So
Yeah. So you're
That's-
thinking
that's-
of it as like a beta play then.
yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, that's all I got then. Thank you.
Yeah, of
All
course, bro.
right, sounds good, bro. Glad to help.
All right, I'm gonna disconnect everyone because I think we should probably just actually disconnect them. Just move them to the audience. Yeah. All right. Anyways, yeah, I think that's all for now.
Yeah. We're gonna do more calls like this, but this is gonna be the last call before you open up the inner circle on the 5th. So if you guys are really interested in that or looking forward to that, I would really heavily recommend you. Who's sending the CA, bro? We are not looking at CAs, bro. I'm sorry. I would really recommend you looking into our waitlist. I'm gonna send this waitlist link right now, and we'll be seeing you guys. We're gonna be doing updates every single day inside of that waitlist channel, and really just looking forward to helping you guys, calling more of you guys, and interacting way more of you guys. Let me just link that even better right now for you. Sorry. Give me 1 second. All right, here you go. So that is the waitlist link, and if you guys are interested, fill it out, and we're gonna do a lot of updates for you guys. For those in Inner Circle, we're gonna do a meeting right after this, so look forward to that. We're gonna speak, and we're gonna help you guys out, and let's get it started, bro. Let's get it rolling. All right, that's all from me. Make sure you really just fill out that, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed.